Aloha, y'all. Happy belated Chinese New Year, which was yesterday. So today is February 2nd. And oh my gosh, I have to show you this right now. Look how cute. Look how cute Friday's being. Oh, look at little bugger. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at this little belly. Booty, 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 booty. Yo. Love you. So cute. Okay. uh, So, aloha, y'all. Today, like I said, is February 2nd, and I am super excited to update you a little bit about last month was my birthday month. I'm officially 30 years old. Bitch, I'm 30 now! And as my Lieutenant Commander Chandler gave me permission to do, as the saying, bitch, I'm 30, that's the saying for this month, or for this year, because I am 30, to as a way to give myself more permission to do things the way that I want to do them in a way that feels good for me so that I can continue to find joy in my work. So last year, I decided to give myself permission a little bit more. In December, I tested a new ideology where you do success on a scale. So you have your first success point, which is like that's the bare minimum you have to do to say that, you know what, I feel comfortable that this was done. It's not about perfectionism, it's about, progress and doing the things that doing the things to get it done. So the first level of success. Then you have the mid success, which is like it's done really well, and you got it done within whatever time. And then you have the like perfectionist goal, right? It's done way ahead of time, or it's done, with all these extra bells and whistles and blah blah blah, which is, of course, is the one that, most of us entrepreneurs want. We want balls to the wall, best all the way, 100%. Massive success! I want success! But doing that creates perfectionism in my personal brain for me. So scaling the level of success allows me permission to have a little bit more compassion with self. That way I feel like even if I got it done, sometimes it doesn't feel like a win. So I'll have completed it, but because it wasn't completed within the time frame that I specifically wanted it to, or it wasn't done exactly how I expected it to be done, or I didn't do it fast enough or a particular way, then that means then it wasn't a success, and I beat myself up about it instead of being happy that, holy crap, I did it, I learned, it took the time, it's accomplished, it is a success. And so that took some time, and redefining what success means for me was last year, as well as my why and values that I dived deeper into, and will be not diving deeper into but more refining this year, and all that. So January's main focus was doing things to give blah 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 blah. Sorry. So on top of learning the 3 successes, I also wanted to give myself more permission, because bitch, I'm 30 is a great phrase that I'm using this year, to give myself permission to do things more in the way that bring me joy. So I tested it out in January by not doing anything work related or even New Year's planning goal oriented related, because my birthday is January 4th. And so having to always do that stuff around my birthday just feels like my life is under an extra microscope of like judgment. Because now it's like my age is also so closely knotted into everything I'm seeing around my birthday is always about get your shit together, get your shit straight. What are your goals? Are you chasing effort? Do now! Make money! Ah! And so I was like, I want to just, I don't know, be done with that. So for the January, I took no clients, which was a big deal for me. I took absolutely no clients for the month of January for me, and my birthday. And I did not realize how much compassion rest I truly needed, because working with animals, you have physical fatigue, which is fatigue I'm used to, and then you have compassion fatigue, which is a little bit different. And so I didn't realize how wear and tear emotionally I was, until I took that January break. And I think that's why I'm so excited to jump into February, which I also said in February and March, I'm going to take it easy, meaning that whatever is scheduled, that has been scheduled for this month for March. That's it. I'm not accepting any new clients as a work boundary for myself to spend these 3 months really just... I see you. She's chewing on herself because I don't have her cone on her right now because she was being good. Do you need your cone on? Pause again. Let me put my cone on my head. She just gives me the greatest look, like, why? January was about giving myself more permission, and I dedicated the whole month to build and keeping promises to myself. So in the beginning, when I first moved here, I had all these project ideas, and I got all excited about the things I wanted to make for the apartment. And what I call my apartment is the Frad Pad. It's a mixture of my roommate's name and my name together. So his name's Frank, my name's Jade. Frad, F-R-A-D, Frad Pad. It's glorious. And a combination of our dual nerdiness and personalities, because Franklin is my number one. He is my second in command. He has been my best friend since forever. He is my chosen family, and so it feels pretty cool to be in a home where somebody really truly accepts you the way you are and condones your creativity and indulgences, like wire art in the living room and building all of the shelves in the living room and picking cool industrial design. Give you a little sneak peek over there. So that's what I built at the beginning of 2021. And 2022, I did the second set of home builds, and I created my first table through the power of math and the power of the triangle. And here's a little picture of its glory. Look at it. Oh, my first three-legged table. My first table ever. Shelves don't count as furniture. I don't feel like they count as furniture. So even though I created all the shelves, to me it didn't feel like real furniture builds. But now that I've officially built it, and I was having so much fun doing this. I was waking up every morning at 6 a.m. I was going to bed at like 8. I was in a fantastic mood, standing, working with my hands. I was so in the groove. I felt so recharged up that all these creative juices from that relaxation and keeping those promises to myself and actually seeing the stuff that I envisioned in my mind for not only me but the people I live with to use and to make the place that we're cohabitating so wonderful. And I was never able or given that privilege when I was in Florida because I was working so much, and it really wasn't a value that the people that I've ever lived with before. I wanted to take that joy, because I realized in that January that, holy crap, even though I was working on my own business, I was not happy. I was constantly stressed out, setting all these deadlines for myself, and then feeling defeated when I didn't complete 120 things on my to-do list all last year. And then I kept hearing the same speeches over and over, you know, you need to give yourself more permission and blah, blah, blah. And so I am taking actionable steps to do that now. So not only with the spectrum of success, where I have the 3 forms of success from yes, I accomplished it, to the perfectionist ideology set up. And for February's, I'll break February's down for you. So for February, for me to believe it is successful, I want to have a minimum of 5 things done. And this is how I keep track of that. I still use my passion planner, which I am a massive fan of and have been using regularly. And before, what I would do is I would just put all of the things that I wanted done, and then at the end of the month, as you see, there was all these open spaces, which made me feel like I'm not successful for not completing all of these things. So for January, I tried a new model, and look at how much more got done that month. Only one thing didn't get done, and I'm getting this done today because it's a doctor's appointment. So, what I did was I focused on the 3 big areas of my life instead of focusing on 3 large projects, because I have a bunch of projects that constantly intertwine, and it was making it very complicated to complete because I was really seeing how intertwined everything was. And so what I did instead was I did the 3 things. So I'll go ahead and break this down with you. Because I've never done this before. I guess you could apply this as February's monthly alignment bit. So I have Loveless Foundation, and it's continuous structure and building for foundational strength, which means good processes and procedures in place, tested systems, deep understanding of why I do the things the way that I do them, and if there's a better way to do them, what is it, and how can I improve on those areas. Right now, it's just focused on building the foundation, so it's really about building systems that work. I was consistently writing in the operation manual and then having to go back and retest it, so I paused on the operation manual until I actually have a good system in place, or where I reach a decent system or process in the way that I do things, especially in the digital way, because there's a huge learning curve. It seems pointless to write a how-to if I am literally learning something new of how to actually interlink these socials, schedule, plan them, and organize them still. So I had to pause on that little bit. But what I did instead was I left the 5 open. So I want to have 5 things accomplished for the foundation. So as long as I've got 5 projects in for building the foundation, and then I have personal compassion, which allows me, and the reason I want to focus on giving myself compassion is so that I can give myself space for learning. For some reason, I have a difficult time sitting down and like, okay, I'm going to learn this, and it's really hard to give myself permission to do that. I enjoy it, and I want my lifestyle to be that of a student. That's the whole point of the van life, is so I can be a forever student. So right now I'm working on giving myself personal compassion, and the ways I'm doing that is by putting in things that I enjoy and keeping small promises to myself. So one of the ones I want to focus on is completing the blue journal. I've had this journal since the year after I was born, 1993, and it's stuck with me all this time, even through when I was homeless. So I want to finish it, and I'm only like 10 pages away from completing that journal, and it's literally I completed when I'm 30. It's a 30-year journal, which is really cool, and I think it would be really dope to finish, so I put that in there. 2 cycle days a month, even though on my Google Calendar I have it scheduled for trying to aim at once a week. Obviously, I'm waiting until my hip is recovered, because I threw out my hip really, really bad from doing, I think I just stretched it too much in one day, and then I kept pushing it instead of just pausing like I tell my clients to. I did not listen to my body, and then it hurt, and I've been icing my butt for the past like 3 days. So that's actually why I started talking about the success scale, because I applied the success scale to the 365 yoga challenge. And if you want to know about the 365 yoga challenge and all the details of that, I will have that video linked below here, so you can and the last one is Van Life Journey, and I put this one on last month too, because I was just like, if every time I think about van life I get a little bit inspired. And that's why your why is so important. If you get inspired or excited about it, or you're like, yes, I can't wait to do that, then awesome. And January also set up my first official business month of a realistic timeline of when I'll actually be able to put down savings for the van, pay off my school loan debt, as well as while building the business. So right now I am currently, for the van life, what I'm working on for the van life is learning Spanish and working on a 75-day Duolingo streak. That is related to van life because I want to take my van to the very southern tip of South America, and that's where I want to go. So I'm learning Spanish, and I want to travel all the way down, because I loved Mexico. It was so warm. I keep watching van life where they're just traveling around and finding pyramids and jungles and tunnels, and I want a bit of that magic down in the depths of the warmth of the Mexico, and even further, all the way down Southern Point. And then right now it's saving $200 a month towards the van down deposit. Originally I was going to put a huge down deposit down because when I first thought of this plan, I was making $86 an hour as a massage therapist, and I had my own set of clients. I was working for 2 spas, and so to me that was a very reasonable thing to save up after about, it was like 2 years of working like that. I don't work like that anymore, and we all know how the world is now, so it's just not the same anymore. So coming to a realistic graph. So instead of doing a $12,000 down deposit, I'm only going to be doing $7,650 down deposit, which is a pretty average down deposit to make for the van. And that is $200 a month every month, and that's to have it in 3 years, so 2024. I know, my heart's breaking even as I say that, because I said last year, 2022, I'll be debt free and I'll already have all this money saved up for savings, but I didn't factor in mental health because our non-negotiables are here, listed here. These are my non-negotiables. I'm just going to put them here. And so to stick to my non-negotiables in my life so that I can stay with the values of my life, most of my profit and everything went to helping my mental health and recovery, and that way whenever success happens to me and good things happen to me, I'm able to experience them with joy and love. And that's also why I did the My Ketamine Experience, which is now completed, and you are welcome to follow that series, which I will have the playlist linked below. The My Ketamine series and the experience that I took there. I am very much happy with the results so far that I've seen. The body leads us towards healing because emotions are trapped within us. And because I'm a massage therapist, that aligns a lot with my beliefs, and the science and old wisdom practices just keep on aligning with the way that I feel things that need to be done for taking care of our bodies, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, fast forward to all that. So that is the van life journey. Last year, I was so focused on my mental health, I was not budgeting whatsoever. So this year we've got new practices of recording. I got an Excel sheet that does it, so every time I type in the 200, or if I even skip a month, it tells me how much more I have to add the following month to keep up to reaching that sheet. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I think this is freaking phenomenal. It'll change that total mark, and it'll change the sum total or whatever at the top. And I know that's why Excel is used for it, but I am like, whenever, so my brain keeps freezing on y'all, and I'm so sorry. So that's it for the monthly alignment for February. Taking these steps for self-compassion, putting in the 5 goals, setting up all of the archives projects. So I actually, when I broke down the archives project, because a lot of it is video editing and a lot of it is a learning curve, so I'm going to be learning like Google Drive, Google Spreadsheet. Today I actually created my first ever content wheel. This is what it looks like. Put a little picture right there. Content wheel of glory, and I created one for each services, so for the massage, holistic services, as well as for the Aloha Pause, because my business offers 2 styles of services. So I just have more content ideals to. Oh my god, my head! Oh my god! More stuff to reach out to and utilize. And so this is what I broke down, and when I realized how much I actually had to do, and I even got to use my awesome breakdown sheet, because I was just using post-it notes, and then I realized big projects need to be broken down, so I created my own little breakdown sheets, and even tells me like from my Google Notes from the podcasts where to find all of the notes I need pertaining to this, because notes as a habit is one of the best habits. Organizing your notes, taking notes, and then organizing your notes in a way that's easy for you to remember, and taking that into a habit is beneficial. And this is when it is beneficial, when you start building and you're like, oh, I learned something, I need to review that article because it had stuff in there that I didn't want to forget. You have the link saved, you go down, it's organized. And I'm so glad I did that all last year, which I thought was pointless until I'm doing it now, and I'm like, that wasn't pointless, this is definitely a needed thing. So for the archives project, February and March are going to be together for this one project. The reason I decided to focus on archives for 2 months instead of 1 month is because a lot of this is creative flow, a lot of it's video editing, which takes a lot of time. I get super drained, and because I do all of the video editing, all of it, through my phone. I am slowly switching over to learning how to use desktop. But I'm not worried about using desktop for video editing right now because I'm really good with it on my phone. I've been doing it since 2013 on my phone with the same app. Viva Video is what I currently use, and it works So we'll just keep using it until I am able to create space to upgrade. But I am learning desktop tools, so this month I'll be learning about more about Google Docs, how to sync them, because I want to have my client information automatically linked to my Google Calendar, and a better understanding of how Google Drive works, because I didn't realize, but utilize all of Google's free options, and they even have like a system set up for small businesses. And so I am going to learn how to better optimize what I'm already utilizing for my business until it becomes automated. So that is February's monthly alignment updates, and focus. The 3 tiers of February 1st, I went ahead and broke everything down and separated into 2. So on the days that I just do not feel super creative, and I can't get the creative juices flowing, the other project that ties into that, which I already broke down, is the resources and saving systems. And that's currently what I've been fiddling with today. So I am really stoked for February to see how much digital stuff actually gets accomplished, and I am feeling confident heading into this month. This month I also am going on a trip to Yosemite, and just a little fun tidbit for y'all, I did not know how to say Yosemite. So when I first heard about this national park, I sounded it out. English language is dumb. I sounded it out and I said Yosemite. So when I was so excited, I got renting an Airstream at the Yosemite National Park, and again, I didn't know how to say it, so I told my roommate, we were sitting down watching Yu Yu Hakusho, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited, guess what's happening this February? I'm gonna go to Yosemite National Park. And he looks over at me and goes, Yosemite? And he is a local Californian, he's born, raised Cali, and he's like, what are you talking about, Jade? I was like, Yosemite. How can you not know Yosemite National Park? It is one of the most famous national parks ever. How could you not know that? He's like, do you mean Yosemite? And I was like, Yosemite? What the hell is Yosemite? And then I was like, there's no Y at the end of that. Yosemite? And then I was like, oh my god, Jade, your Texan education is showing. So if you've ever made that mistake, or have you ever made where you've just said something so wrong that it just makes everyone else around you giggle, because that happens to me. Yes, so I'm super stoked for February, focusing on archives, still giving myself compassion, and bitch, I'm 30, which means this year is all about giving myself more space to follow through on the things that I said I was going to do, no matter how old I was when I said I was going to do them. But keeping the word to myself so that I can build more self-trust, which is so needed when you're an entrepreneur and building your business. And I feel like is a huge missing component, not a missing component, but is a component with which I need to strengthen as I step into becoming more of an embodied power worker and becoming a better auntie in general. So mahalo for watching. That's February's monthly alignment, and